sunshines, welcome to BunniPhish Crafts. Today is Saturday the 17th or 18th of September 2021, and this is episode 30. I'm your host Heather, known as BunniPhish on Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon, and thank you for coming to hang out with me today. So this is going to be a normal episode because I have not recorded any clips at all this week. I'll talk about why towards the end, but it's because it was the second week of school and I'm exhausted, but we'll discuss that later. So this week at school I finished a design that I was working on, which I left at school. Disappointing. It could be blocking today, but I forgot to bring it home, and I didn't weave in the ends yet. So, but full disclosure, it was time to go yesterday, and I was like, I'm out the door. Do I have my wallet and keys? Everything else can wait. And my daughter. Do I have my wallet, keys, and daughter? Everything else can wait. So yeah. So I finished that. So that was a decent chunk of my knitting time. And then I finished one other thing. So that design was using Molly Girl yarns in two beautiful DK weight colors. I don't remember what the blue one is called, but it's got blue and gray in it. And the gray looks like this. So it's, ooh yeah, just like that. Look at how pretty that is. So I finished the design on probably Thursday or Wednesday, early-ish in the week, because I know this headband took me more than one day to knit at school. I only worked on it at school, and I finished the knit, and a big chunk of my day is spent in 7th grade classrooms, and the air conditioning in the 7th grade classrooms was broken for the first 5 or 6 days of school. So when it was fixed and I was now in air conditioning all day, I finished the design and I was freezing and my hair was up, so my ears were really cold. And I know what you're thinking, just put your hair down. Well, my hair was too dirty to wear down. I only wash my hair once a week. And it doesn't, when did I wash my hair last? Tuesday maybe? So it's not greasy or anything, but I was probably on day 6 or 7, because sometimes I go longer than 7 days between washing my hair, which is why I would have washed it on Tuesday instead of whatever, or it couldn't have been Tuesday. I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe I finished the thing on Tuesday and started this on Tuesday. I have no concept of knitting time. But my hair was too dirty to wear down, so I washed my hair the next morning. But my ears were freezing and I was like, I need a headband for work, so that when my hair is too dirty to let down, I can wear this so that my ears are covered. So just an idea of what it looks like. I did not use a pattern. I just cast on 20 stitches and then did 5 stitches of garter ridge on either side of a 10 stitch cable, so it's 5 over 5, and the cable is a stockinette cable, not a garter stitch cable. I thought about doing a garter stitch cable, but I really wanted it to be a distinct different thing. Here's my seam. This could have been a prettier seam if I had done a provisional cast on, but I didn't because I was in class and I didn't have materials with me. I didn't have a crochet hook and a spare piece of yarn to do a chained provisional. I didn't have a spare needle in the right size. I didn't have a spare needle at all. Because if I had had a spare needle, I could have figured it out, but I didn't have anything. So there's the seam. It doesn't really matter. Nobody's going to notice. I also didn't do a full repeat here because I was knitting along and I was like, oh, I should probably check and see if this is the right size after finishing a repeat, and it was just a smidge too big. So I ripped out a couple rows and didn't care that it's not going to be the right repeat. Let's do a quick bun so you can see what it's gonna look like on. And by a quick bun, I mean I'm just gonna tie my hair in a knot so it's up. And oh, I didn't tie that knot very well. Oh well. But let's try this again. It's because I didn't twist my hair the first time. There we go. Now it's gonna stay. So yeah, it'll look like that when I'm wearing the headband at school. It's wide enough to cover my ears all the way, and it's just going to live in my bag at school that I carry everywhere, so that when my hair is too dirty, I can still be warm. I am sorry, there is a sink right on the other side of me. I'm at work. The Chinese restaurant is on the other side of this wall, so I hope that's not too annoying. If they're like washing dishes really loudly, I will pause recording. Okay, so that's a headband. Really simple. Oh, and the cross was every 10th row, so every 5 garter ridges. Full disclosure, some of the cables may be 4, some of them may be 6, because I was at work and I was using this marker to mark like where the cable had crossed, but I wasn't super worried about it. But after a quick glance, it looks even all the way around. I also worked on 2 other projects. So this is not what I worked on. I finished the sock last week. I still haven't woven in the ends. This is a cookie A design. I still didn't look at the pattern to see which one it was, but I will put it on the screen right here for real this time. And I left that in my school bag. I'm probably only a couple inches into the sock, but depending on when I edit this, I might insert a picture if I edit it Monday or after. If I edit it after I go to school on Monday, I'll put in a picture here. If not, I edited it on the weekend instead. So that's what it looks like. This is sport weight yarn. It is Shipwrecked Sheep in Won't Be Forgotten. And this colorway is one of Shelby's LGBTQA+ collections. So an amount of money that you spend on this goes to a charity supporting LGBTQA. So look at that. And this is her transgender colorway. Super pretty. These are for my daughter. I picked this pattern because it had a 50 stitch size, and this is sport weight socks, and she wears, I think, a size 3 shoe. So, I mean, I could probably fit this sock actually, but I made the length short enough for her. Whatever, 50 stitches on US size 1 needles because I am a loose knitter. Also, I was knitting this last week. I don't think I talked about I'll talk about the whole process about the sock actually. So last week I took this with us when we went to Frankenmuth, and I finished it while we were there. So I knit this much of the leg and the heel flap and the gusset and the foot and the toe, all while having an adventure day. So I think I finished the leg in the car maybe, but then I started the heel while we were walking around. And I forgot that this is a 10 stitch repeat. So I only worked the heel. I didn't work it over half. I only worked it over 40%. It will probably be fine. My daughter has narrow heels anyway, and it looks like a sock. And honestly, like, she's only gonna wear these for a couple years. They're not like, it's not like socks for me that could last for a decade, depending on use and wear. So it's fine. I realized what I had done about halfway through the heel flap, and I was like, well, I could rip it back. And I was like, nah, it's fine. Because I was thinking, where would I stop? Like, where would I go to in the middle of this repeat? I mean, there's obviously a middle, but it's a center double decrease. So I just really didn't want to think about how to manage a heel, and I didn't have the pattern with me. So it is what it is, and I will just have to remember to mess up on the second sock the same way. But yeah, like I was saying, I think it's only like this long. Not positive, but I feel like it's that long. And I think that sock will get more work this week as we settle into routine a little more at school. And I haven't knit at all after school this week. No, not a stitch. I bring knitting home every day from school. And then I'm like, nope, Candy Crush instead. I don't even have the mental capacity for this other project that I started, which I wanted a sock that would be easy to work on the go. So this is going to be Kaime by Cookie A, and the leg is just 3x3 rib, and then there's a beautiful lace, traveling lace panel on the foot. And this will be my third Cookie A pattern, so yay, meeting goals. And I don't feel bad that the Cookie A patterns, 2 of the 3 that I've made, are patterns I've already made before. This is pattern number 4. Ooh. Because I did Thelonious, I did whatever this is called, I did monkeys, and now I'm doing Kaime, and I've made monkeys and Kaime before. This will be the 3rd time I'm making Kaime. I think it's super pretty. Oh, cool. Well, I've already met my goal, but this feels a little less like cheating having 2 that I've already done to make up 1 new pattern, kind of. So the yarn that I'm using for this is Stroll Tweed. It's fingering weight. It's called Barn Door Heather. I'm making these for Patrick's mom because this is her favorite, like, winey burgundy-ish reds are her favorite thing, and it says barn door, but I thought that it's definitely like a purple leaning red. I think it's gonna be so pretty with the pattern, and it's been super easy to just go on it. You don't have to look at it. I'm using my stitch marker trick where you use the marker, and every time you pass the marker, you move it over by 1 stitch as you're going. I'll show you real quick, and I will link a video over, well, probably over here. I think that's where tags go. I will link the tag for how to do this in the round, but I'll do it real quick on camera so that you can see what I mean. It makes it super, super, super so easy to count what you're doing in the round, because to count how many rows you have when you're working in the round, because you just automatically do it. And when you have a lot of practice, you can do it without looking, which I can do it without looking. I'm a much slower knitter when I'm talking. Anybody else a slower knitter when they're talking, or just me? There's no reason why it should take me this long to do a round. It's not a giant sock, it's only 66 stitches. Probably because I unfolded the leg. So I wanted to show you the length that I had, but then I find this cumbersome. I find all this cumbersome, so when I'm working on it, I actually keep it about this length so that there's not a bunch of extra fabric hanging around and getting in my way. And that's not just on this sock, that's on like any sock or anything that's a tube that's freestanding, so fingerless mitts, if I'm knitting sleeves separate, that sort of thing. Okay, so I'm almost there. And I know you're looking at the back of the work, so it's not the clearest thing, but I have these stitches to work. And now I'm going to knit the stitch before the marker, and then leaving the marker on the needle, I'm going to knit the stitch after, and then just pop my right hand needle into the marker and slip it over. So it has moved over one stitch without me really having to work at it. And now I only have 9 rounds to go on this sock. So these 2 socks are the only projects that I have going right now, but I am about to cast on a new design. And I'm going to be using 716 knit. Focus on the tag, there we go. 716 sock in 80% superwash merino, 20% nylon, in the colors Mugu Guy Starch and Josh Canover Dye Black. So I am doing a DK weight design, but I'm using fingering weight to do it. So I'm going to hold the strands double, and not these strands double. I'm going to hold this together with itself. It actually wound the cake so that it's 2. And then I haven't done that with this one. I don't know if I will right now. We'll see. Probably I'll knit the first section or 2, and then the yarn will get floppy and I'll get annoyed, and so I'll wind it into a ball from the inside and outside, but I'm kind of not feeling like it right now. So future me, that's your problem. But yeah, I'm gonna get that started, and since it's DK weight, it should go really fast. It should be really fun. It's going to be a colorwork design, which is exciting. So yeah, I'm gonna get started on that probably today at some point. Hopefully today. Maybe not until tomorrow though. Maybe not even until sometime in school this week, because Candy Crush has been absorbing my life. So that's all the knitting content. So I'm going to talk about some book stuff a little bit and talk about life stuff. So if you're not interested in all that, I will see you next time. But if you are, I have not read this week because I have been too exhausted. I mean, I have done a little reading. We have an app through school called Sora, and it's a free for us digital book program. So I didn't restart. I started again, kind of. I picked up again The Ask and the Answer by Patrick Ness. It's part of the Chaos Walking trilogy, and I was reading it at the end of last school year. I don't know what page I left off on. I could look it up because I definitely wrote it down in my journal, but I just went to the section that I knew it was in because it's really easy to navigate between sections and chapters on Sora, which I really like. So I knew I was through the first part because the first part is one character talking, and I'm fairly certain I was in the second part where the other character is talking, but I don't remember how far I got in her section. So I just restarted reading her section again. I probably only read like 4 or 5 pages though. If I read this week at home, it would have been from The Killing Moon by N.K. Jemisin. I'm pretty sure I haven't picked up Confident Women at all since school started. But I'll get back to it, I hope. What else? I really want to read. I have so much, like, I'll probably read today because there's so many things I want to read. So I think that's going to happen today or tomorrow because I don't have anything to do until dinner time at my mom's tomorrow. So I have the whole morning to read. I might read tomorrow. I'm hoping I read and knit tomorrow. It's very weird not doing my hobbies at home because I'm too tired. So let's talk about that for a moment. It was the second week of school and my team is understaffed. I'm a special education paraprofessional, and when I'm in my classroom, what I refer to my classroom, it's called the IRR. It's the Intensive Resource Room. So we had 6 kiddos and now we have 7. And then I also leave out to help a 7th grader in his classes. I'm his one-on-one person in his classes. So it's just exhausting. It's exhausting because there's 3 of us, special education paras, doing the work of at least 4 paras, but I really feel like it's more like 4.5. There is a job listing for another para, so hopefully we get one because we're all being run ragged. It's too much. It's too much. We're exhausted, and we have a new classroom teacher, and I'm really worried that she's gonna burn out because it's a lot in that classroom, and she just graduated, so I really hope she stays. I like her a lot, but I'm kind of worried that she might be like, nope, this is too hard. Yeah, so it's been exhausting, but my kids are really enjoying being back in school. Mara made a new friend at the beginning of the year, so that's exciting. So I hear little updates every couple days about him, and Gabriel is in most of his classes so 7th grade travels in a cohort, except they have 2 electives. One is like a regular like gym, music, art sort of elective class, but in that group of 5 electives, technology, in that group there's also a creative writing, so he's in creative writing. and his cousin is in that class, so that's interesting. And then I don't know what his other special is. Oh, I do. So the other thing is an elective, not like a specials, not like a co-curricular, is what they call them. It's an elective, and his elective is financial literacy. So I think that's really, really cool. And he's doing well. For most of his day, not the electives or specials, co-curriculars, not those, but when he's with his regular cohort, his two best friends are in class with him, so that's really exciting. He's a safety at the school this year, which means he helps walk kids out to, he helps in a kindergarten classroom walking the kids out to the area for dismissal, because they go out to like the playground area in a fenced-in area to wait for their cars. And kindergartners sometimes get lost. They sometimes turn the wrong way out of the classroom. They see their friends and they stop and they start talking and they forget that they have a thing to do, and all of a sudden everybody's waiting, and kindergartners are first graders. So that's who the safeties help. So he's doing that, and he really, really likes it. And yeah, they're doing really great. Gabriel was grounded for a month or so off of his computer because he wasn't working on his summer learning packets this summer. Like, there's no reason why he shouldn't have finished them. Well, he finished his math one, but he did not finish his ELA. And so I was like, well, you're grounded. Like 2 weeks before, right after summer school, I was like, you're grounded until you finish those. And he didn't finish them, and then he had to turn them in at the end of summer. And he was like, so how long am I grounded from my computer? And I was like, until I see your grades, until I know that you are putting forth maximum effort. So the first week, he didn't have many grades put in because the first week of school is a lot about procedures and building classroom culture and things like that. And in one of his classes, he had a B. And I was like, nope, not acceptable. I know you can do straight A's, so you're going to do straight A's. This is new for him. This straight A thing is new, but I'm so excited. He's been more like a low B student previously. Like all elementary, he was kind of a low B student. And then he realized that he liked reading and it was worth it to put forth effort. So now that he's there, I want him to maintain that, especially because his plan right now still is to be a marine biologist. And I want him to get in a good school and have good study habits and all of that. So he has to have all A's to keep that computer. Well, on Friday, I checked the grade book. We use Parent Portal at my school, and so you can see all of the grades that have been put in, and he has straight A's after the second week, so I'm glad. And that's what I expect. He can do straight A's. If he was in a class that was really, really hard and he was really struggling, I wouldn't be like, you have to get straight A's, because I was mostly a straight A student, but like I also got a D in a class freshman year of high school. And I got a D in gym in high school because the teacher was a mean old man, really, is what it came down to. I couldn't do push-ups, like physically could not. My shoulder blades would get caught on each other and I'd have to have someone come and lift the top shoulder blade off the bottom shoulder blade. And I showed him that. And he was still like, well, you're not participating by not doing the 10 push-ups every day. So I got a D. And I should have fought it, but I didn't, because I was frustrated and I was over it. So anyway, the principal, when he found out the story, he was like, why didn't you say something when it happened? I can't go back and change it now. He doesn't work here anymore. So it's just it's your word against nothing. And I was like, I should have, but I didn't. So anyway, I get it. Sometimes things happen, but if he's able to get A's, I want him to be getting A's. I want him to have that sort of mindset going into college, even going into high school, so he can get into the college he wants to get into. So my teacher, back to my teacher, on Thursday, she was like it was a bad day. Thursday was a bad day. It was not a good day at school, and her prep period is at the end of the day, and so I go in there and I help her prep and help her clean up the classroom and do all the things that need to be done, because she gets to school way too early and stays way too late, and I want her to like go so she can. I feel like you can do one or the other. You can either come in early or you can stay late, but you can't do both, because you need to have work-life balance or you will burn out. Absolutely 100% will burn out. I don't want her to burn out. So she was like, I don't think I'm doing a good job, basically. And so after school, after we were done with dismissal, I kicked my daughter out of the classroom. I said, go wait in the car. Be there in a minute. She's almost 11. She's not a small human. It's fine. She can go wait in the car for a couple minutes. And I walked up to my teacher. She was sending an email. I stood in front of her desk and waited for her to look at me. I was like, listen, this is important. You are doing a good job. This is hard. This job is not for weak people. It's just not. You will be fine, but you have to be strong. And she was like, okay. I was like, I promise you're doing a good job. It doesn't feel like it to you, and you don't see what you're doing, but I see what you're doing, and you're doing a good job. So, because she is. I wouldn't tell her that if she wasn't. When she's doing something that I think could be improved on, I let her know that. But overall, she's doing a good job. So we planned for the next day we planned out how to help, one small thing we could try to make the day go smoother. And yesterday was a great day at school. All over the place, the kids were making small but impactful gains, and yesterday was a great day. But she brought us little presents yesterday. It was so nice. She got the Paras coffee and bagels from Tim Hortons, and if you know me, you know food is the way to my heart. My best friend and I spell love Food. So that was really nice. And she got us nice hand soap from Bath and Body Works, and she got us a card, and it was a really nice way to start a Friday. And we just had a good day. It was a good day. Kids made really great gains. I know I already said that, but so many small wins yesterday. And when you're working with kids, you got to take the small wins. You have to internalize those moments where something small clicks, because it can be so hard, so hard to work with kids. So you have to collect those all. So I did. And at the end of the day, we were all in the classroom. Not all. Two of us Paras and the classroom teacher were there right before dismissal, and they were like, oh, we made it till Friday. We did it, you guys. I was like, not only did we do it, we made great success this week. And they were like, what are you talking about? Because they were tired. And it's I listed 10 things that were amazing. And they were like, that is a great thing to take into the weekend. We did that. And I was like, yes, we did that. So I'm glad we ended the week on a high note. And then I came home, and my day I had 2 presents waiting for me in the mail. I had been talking to my friend Josh. I vented midweek. I called him to talk about something else. Called him to talk about a design question. And then we ended up talking about how stressed I was at work and how I really wanted this supply, but I wasn't able to get it. So I was thinking I was going to have to buy it myself, which was fine, but I was kind of in a holding pattern to see if I was going to have to. And I came home to a package of it sitting on my front porch. And I was like, what is this? I didn't order anything. And then I saw what it was. I sent him a picture and I said, did you do this? He said, yes, I love you. And I was like, oh, this is so nice. Such a nice thing. It's really nice when people hear you have a need and they take care of the need when you don't expect them to take care of the need. I feel a little emotional. It was super nice. It's been a hard week. So it's a, in case you're wondering, it's a 3-tier rolling cart. I'm not trying to keep it a secret. I haven't assembled it yet. I'm going to take it into work on Monday and assemble it at some point. I usually get there a little bit early, so I will assemble it on Monday and maybe take a picture if I remember. So yeah, he got that for me and it was super nice. And then I also won a prize from the Serenity Knitting. Yes, is that the name? Podcast? Serenity Podcast. I don't think there's the knitting. Serenity Podcast. Yes. Okay, that sounds right. Link up here so you can find them because I love Beth and Tracy. I won a prize from the knit-a-thon that they had over the summer. It wasn't over the whole summer, but it was over a big chunk. So it's a beautiful green skein of Madeline Tosh. I'll put in a picture here. And it was just really nice. So my week is going on a high note. And I'm hoping that energy travels with me into the coming week. I'm going to hold on to it as hard as I can, and I'm going to continue. Yesterday morning when I dropped off Patrick at work, he was like, okay, well, try to have a good day. And I was like, no, we are having good days. It's going to be a good day. He was like, okay, sure. And I was like, no, listen, today is going to be a good day. I'm speaking it into being. And guess what? He had a good day too. So I'm going to bring that forward. I know every day can't be a good day, but if I can have more good days than bad days, that's what I want. I hope that in the coming week you have more good days than bad days, and I will see you so soon, my friends. Bye.